All right. So one of the aspects I would suggest is that you possibly decide to write these down. I'll explain what those mean. Those are 4 more derivatives that you're responsible for. These are the butyl derivatives. Yeah, a butyl group, a secondary butyl group, a tertiary butyl group, and an isobutyl. I'll explain what that means. That's where it attaches to the parent chain. I'll explain what I mean by that in just a couple moments. And yes, we go to Salem, and it was 6 years ago. Made your debut in Salem. That long ago. Or is it 5? 5 years ago. You're 7th grade, 5 years ago. I just remember, I think it was yourself and your teammate talking to one another and thinking, there are girls crying when they're crossing the finish line. What did we get ourselves into here? It's our first cross-country meet, and there are girls that are crying when they cross the finish line.
I'm pretty sure that's what we saw a girl fall to. They didn't help her or anything. We got scared.
But you can't. You're not supposed to. Because once you help them out, they just fall.
No, I would want to help them, but not just be
But then maybe she said, don't help me.
Oh. No, she was crying. She was just like, could not. I don't think she finished. It was bad.
It was hot, too. It was really hot.
Her thing was already mixed.
And again, these are on page 308. We went over the rules for naming these. Okay? And this is where, yes, it's going to become more and more confusing. And again, the reason that we're saying this and going over these and stating these this way and asking you questions in certain manners, if I'm asking them, I guarantee you you're going to have a college professor asking you very, maybe not the same questions, but similar type questions. Probably a lot more difficult than what I can answer. So, would you just like to just name what they are in order, or maybe you have the names down already on which one's which? Because we don't want you to just say that's a butyl group. Well, that only pertains to the red, because that is a butyl group. Okay? And it's the only time where branching off the parent chain you can have C4H9. Okay? So here's your 4 carbons and here's your 9 hydrogens. So you'd write a butyl group as one way or the other. So why can't we write C4H9 for this one, do you think? Would we know which butyl group this one is? Why would I be holding up the number 2? Well, for one, it's on the second carbon, correct? But it is a secondary butyl group. That's why. That's probably the easiest to associate that to. So why can't we write C4H9 for this one, do you think? It's a difficult question. I'm not going to deny that. But why can't we write C4H9 for this one? Right, because on this molecular formula, it just goes straight down, like you had just said. That's correct, because it attaches on the first carbon. So a secondary butyl group attaches to the parent chain on the second carbon. So that's one way to associate secondary butyl groups. So when you are writing that in a compound for I can't say it, alphabetizing. Yeah. Is alphabetization a word? Or just alphabetical? Or alphabetically, yes. So if this is a secondary butyl group, which it is, okay? Secondary butyl group. How do we alphabetize that? Is it S or is it B? It's actually the B. Okay? You go by the B, right? And what the author does is they do it in an italicized type S. Well, I'm not that fancy. Okay? So the S just stands for secondary. That is a secondary butyl group. You use the B here for writing it in alphabetically. All right. So, which one would you like to see next? The orange one, okay? What this actually resembles, I believe you could say, is a tetrahedron, okay? So even though it's pointing down, if it was pointing up, that would be a better way of looking at it. So therefore, this is T-butyl. Again, go by the B. Tertiary butyl. And knowing these categories is going to help you out when we get into our reaction mechanisms a little later, because it doesn't make any sense now, but tertiary butyl alcohols do not go through the process of what we call oxidization or oxidizing. So when you do some of these mechanisms, sometimes the answer is either nothing or no reaction is the correct answer. Okay, so now by default we go up to, it's probably hard to see, but the purple now. Okay. Difficult to see. The green might be a little hard to see. All right. So again, we've got a butyl group, a secondary butyl group, a tertiary butyl group, and then finally we've got from yesterday. What was that from yesterday? Isopropyl. But here we've got 4 carbons, so it's not isopropyl, but rather what? Isobutyl. That's right. So whether you need to maybe put a little tail on there or however you want to, I guess you don't need to do that. You can just write it like a regular I.
So why would it be iso if it's like
You mean as opposed to that isopropyl group and why that's horizontal?
yeah, because like our regular butyl is going like the red one is like
Yeah.
going vertical.
Okay.
That one is too, so
So, and the difference between here is just where that 4th carbon is attaching. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't think so. But I don't know how else you would manipulate that to write it any different. I hate saying, well, just look in the book. Just look in the book. That really doesn't answer your question. You just say, just look in the book. But to me, the best way is just to recognize that. Okay? And and you would look at that isobutyl attaches out here, and then that fourth carbon is one of them, and that's what. All right. And it's probably hard visualizing these in 3 dimensions. That's probably part of the problem. Now, alphabetizing. Which letter do we use? Use the I. There's an exception to that rule. Just like isopropyl, you would use the letter I in isobutyl then as well. Okay? All right. So, now that you've got those recorded and wrote down, these, okay, and then the green structure. What do we have? Again, follow your rules. So we know we've got decane. Okay. There's something branching off of that parent chain. So just like we did earlier, X marks the spot. Okay. And it is a what group? No more specific. It's an isobutyl group on the 5th carbon. So we've got 5 isobutyl decene. That's right. Okay. Well, how would we change that if we did this? Okay, so on the 3rd carbon, we've got a what group? We've got an ethyl group, okay? So I don't know if you wanted to say X marks the spot, whichever, okay? But here's an ethyl group. So what comes first, the ethyl or the isobutyl? The ethyl group comes first, okay? Because if we switch this again, okay, if we do this instead, let's stretch this out a little more. Okay. Now, what do we have? We're gonna start over with decane now, because I'm gonna tell you it's different. Okay, so disregard what you see up there. So again, X marks the spot. We still have our ethyl group, but this one down here is a what? Secondary butyl group. Okay, so does the ethyl group come first or the secondary butyl group come first? The secondary butyl group comes first. So, and just as a quick review, why is isobutyl coming after, but secondary butyl is coming first? Yes, because the exception says that for isopropyl or isobutyl, you go by the I. When it comes to secondary, tertiary, and butyl groups, you go by the B. So then On our fifth carbon, we've got what? 5 dash what? Secondary butyl. Okay. Then do we have a comma or a dash? Dash, because we're not separating numbers. And what's our other derivative? It's an ethyl group on which carbon? 3 dash ethyl. Okay. All right. We went through that really fast. You may have questions, and you may not know how to ask them, and that's okay. That's how we learn. You might not know what to ask. So, other than that, barring no questions, I think that's enough for today, unless we say, I'm just going to write one thing down, and that's where we're going to start tomorrow. Well, then I got to write it down again tomorrow, so I can just do that. Because now, remember, we take this flow progression, physical science, you learn up to 10, but then you only have 2 derivatives to know, methyl and ethyl. Then when you were juniors last year in general chemistry, you still had to know 1 through 10, methyl, ethyl, propyl, and isopropyl. Now you still have to know 1 through 10, your methyl group, ethyl group, propyl, isopropyl, butyl, secondary butyl, tertiary butyl, and isobutyl. Okay? And the mechanisms that go along with these reactions. And we'll start those tomorrow. All right. We got some papers to turn in. I'll collect them, and then the rest of the time is yours.